Hi, I'm David Allen Miller, and I'm so excited to be conducting the Little Orchestra Society on the March Happy Concert. This concert is about Tubby the Tuba, as narrated by the legendary godmother of punk, Patti Smith. Now, in developing the concert, I thought about that idea that Patti Smith is going to be the narrator. She's going to speak while the orchestra plays this beautiful story of Tubby the Tuba. And I thought, what other pieces could complement Tubby the Tuba and are similar and yet different and would shed interesting light on Tubby the Tuba? And I began to think of Tubby the Tuba as, as a dialogue between a soloist and the orchestra, which it is, which is very much what a concerto is about. And so what I decided to do was build a concert that features essentially 4 very unique and different kinds of concertos, or concerti as they say in Italian, leading up to this ultimate spoken word concerto of Patti Smith speaking Tubby the Tuba. This is a very difficult question, and it's a question that people who study music have thought about for a really long time. What exactly is a concerto? And from what I can gather, from having gone back and kind of done a little research into the origin of the word concerto, is that it comes really from 2 different words. One word, concertare, is all about working together. And of course, that's what any kind of concerto is. It's the orchestra working together with a solo or a single instrument or voice or other character and building something together. On the other hand, the other word that concerto comes from is a word certado, which means something very different. It means, if I remember correctly, it means having a fight or a duel in early Italian or in Latin. And so it's this idea of sort of working against each other or having kind of a one-upmanship kind of thing where the soloist tries to say something and then the orchestra responds with something else, and it's as if they're having a musical duel. And so I really love the idea that a concerto is kind of both of those things at once. The 2 entities, the orchestra and the soloist, working together, and the orchestra and the soloist kind of dueling with each other or doing a kind of I can do, anything you can do, I can do better sort of thing. What's so exciting about this March concert is that it kind of takes those 2 ideas of what a concerto might be, the orchestra and the soloist working together, or the orchestra and the soloist sort of challenging each other, and it explodes the genre. We look at 5 incredibly different and unusual, frankly, well, 4 of them are pretty unusual, ideas of how an orchestra and a soloist work together or work to challenge each other. And what I love about the concert most is that these are really different and unique kinds of pieces, and they do really unique, different things with the idea of a concerto. To be very honest, the first one isn't that unique because it's kind of a traditional kind of concerto. It's a cello concerto by Franz Joseph Haydn, but it features an amazing college-age cellist named Nathan Chan, who's going to play this amazingly difficult and challenging and exciting movement of Haydn's C major cello concerto. But then we get a little bit stranger in that we start featuring pieces that aren't typically thought of as concertos. For example, the next piece on the program is a piece for singer and orchestra. It's from an opera. It's technically called an aria, a song from an opera, and it's by Mozart. It's from the Magic Flute, his great final opera. And in it, the Queen of the Night, this crazy, possessed, evil queen, sings the highest, fastest thing in the world with words, but with music that makes it sound like an unbelievable solo experience with the orchestra. Then we get even a little bit crazier. We also do, we decide to go explore another culture, and we do a piece for pipa, which is a Chinese plucked instrument, a very ancient and beautiful Chinese instrument, kind of like a dulcimer, if you know what a dulcimer looks or sounds like, a concerto for pipa and string orchestra. And then we also go a little crazier still, and we do one of the most unusual concertos I've ever heard of, which is by Morton Gould, the great American composer, and it's a concerto not for a violin or a piano, it's for a tap dancer who taps very specific rhythms with his feet and orchestra. And then we finally end up with that beautiful Tubby the Tuba featuring Patti Smith. I think the reason I got interested in conducting is because my dad and I used to have a really special ritual we would take on every Thursday night. We had tickets to the Los Angeles Philharmonic. I grew up in Los Angeles. And my dad and I would go off and have yummy Thai food in Hollywood for dinner, and then we'd go downtown to the Philharmonic and sit there. I'm sure all the people sitting around us hated us because we probably reeked of garlic, but we had the most wonderful time, and that was kind of a special thing my dad and I did every year for years and years. And I think that's when I fell in love with orchestras and music, and that's what made me want to become a conductor.